Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video, we are going to be doing Lily May testing in Arena, Supreme Arena, and maybe even Dream Realm as well. Because today her rate up recruitment began, we did recruit for her, and we've gotten 7 copies of her, so basically we're waiting on the final copy which will be coming from the event tomorrow. But before we get into that, there are a bunch of gift codes you can redeem to help you in your pulls for Lily May if you're going for her. And I think there are like 8 or 9 different codes. I'll put them all in the description of this video, and I'll try to put them as a pinned comment as well, so you guys can get those extra diamonds to help you out here. But really, I don't think her Supreme Plus is so important, so even if you can get 5 copies of her and get 1 copy from the event tomorrow, that would be enough to take her to Mythic Plus. But that being said, there's a lot of time left. 28 days on a rate up recruitment. You have a lot of time to decide whether you want to recruit for her or not. But as of right now, I do think she is going to be a pretty important character to have on your account because of the utility that she has. Okay, so we got her up to plus 10 exclusive equipment, which is pretty much as far as you would want to go. Taking her higher than that is just going to be really expensive. It doesn't give any major skill upgrade. And we're going to begin by trying her out in Arena and see how she will function to counter enemy teams. There are a lot of Iron teams in my server, and I think in a lot of servers that we have. Okay, I want to first of all try to find someone who has a Scarlita Stroll team. After. Now, normally he was in the top 5, but he has become inactive. He hasn't been playing for a week. But otherwise, he was holding top 5 with his Scarlita Stroll defense that he has here. Now, we're going to see Lily May in action. We're pretty sure she's going to interrupt the Iron on his initial ultimate, but we need to keep her alive, which is the main thing that we'll have to do. And I'm thinking that, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe just get rid of Haywin, or get rid of Iron. Keep Haywin and Damien for the healing, because Lily May will need to survive for a long time in order to become more powerful, because she will grow over time. We'll keep her like this. I think we'll have the enlightening spell on her so she can't be affected by the Iron ultimate, even though we're going to interrupt it at the beginning of the fight. Okay, we're going to try it out, and we're going to watch it in 1x speed and see how she interrupts. Yeah, immediately she's going to interrupt Iron. Iron is not able to ult, and she goes into her Rainstorm Ballet really quickly. However, that's probably before she's able to get a growth stack, so she's not going to be dealing additional true damage with that Rainstorm Ballet, and it wasn't enough to really kill anyone. Now she's going to go into her defensive state. The next person to cast an ultimate, which I think is going to be Iron. Again, oh wow, and there's a cool animation. She counters Iron again. Iron is not able to ultimate me. Now, in this specific, like, Scarlita Stroll team, it is kind of useful because Iron ultimate will group up the entire team together and allow the enemy Scarlita to smash my team all together and knock us off the board. She's back into a defensive state. She really gains energy pretty quickly, as you can tell. She's already the 3rd defensive state, and if she could counter the enemy Scarlita here, it would be so powerful. But she countered, I think, the enemy Damien, so Damien couldn't spawn the Toy Chariot. I definitely think that her ability would be much more powerful if you could, like, designate a specific target. If you were always, for example, protect against Scarlita ultimate, I mean, she would be one of the most game-changing heroes, but the problem is, it's kind of random. Whoever gets their ultimate off first is the one she's going to interrupt, and you can't guarantee that being the enemy Scarlita. But if you could lock onto the Scarlita, wow. Like, without Scarlita's ultimate, she has a lot less kill threat and kill pressure. Okay, let's take a look at some other teams. I want to try to find an Iron nuke team with Carolina, and we're not going to then run Scarlita. Okay, this is kind of, I mean, it has Taylene, Iron, no Carolina here, but it's pretty similar to the standard one. It'll be more difficult to deal with because they have the Taylene. I'm going to try to do it without Scarlita. And I want to try whether we can go for... we're going to need more damage for sure. I think I'm going to try Iron here to lock down the enemies more, crowd control them. But what it seems to be the case is that Lily May at the beginning of the fight is going to defend and interrupt Iron's ultimate, and then both her and Iron are like kind of recharging at the same rate, and then she'll get back up her defensive state before Iron ultimates again, and that is why in the previous fight she denied Iron's first and second ultimate as well. Which can be good, because then Arden will not be able to be as effective without the crowd control from the Iron. So immediately going to interrupt, and pretty good damage as well, as you can see, onto the Iron, but not enough to kill. Rainstorm Ballet coming off immediately and taking down the Ard. Was that the damage onto the Arden from Rainstorm Ballet? It almost killed him. A little bit more damage would have been enough. She's in a defensive state. Maybe countering Tailine's ultimate. She's going to counter Tailine's ultimate? Wow, that is really big. Because Tailine ultimate is how she deals her damage. My Iron is almost dead though. Haven gets an ultimate at like the perfect time. The Tailine hasn't been able to ultimate a single time this fight so far. Thorin, we need Thorin to protect the Lily May in my opinion. And now the fight is going long. She's going to have her growth stack. She's going to deal a high amount of damage. We need to check her damage contribution at the end of this fight. But I'm expecting it to be pretty high. So both Damians are going to spawn the Torii Chariots. One more Rainstorm Ballet is really all it's going to take from the Lily May. I think she's going for it right now. Dealing pretty high damage. I don't know if it was on the Thorin or who it was on. But now Tailiene is casting her ultimate. Can Lily May survive? Where is Lily May? Lily May is using her Rainstorm Ballet and finishing everyone off. And that is the thing. She's invincible while casting Rainstorm Ballet. And so it was not going to be able... She's not going to die to the Tailiene ultimate. We didn't check the damage. We'll check the damage in the replay. Really, she is looking pretty good. I mean, didn't even deal as much damage as Iron, but a decent amount of damage, and especially the single target nuking and the focusing. And here I did a bit more damage than Thorin. Okay, not bad. Let's try to find... Is there a full Iron nuke team with Carolina? Because that is... Okay, this is pretty much like that. He's holding rank 3 right now, Rudy. What other team would we like to try? Let's try with Shakira, maybe? Shakira does well with heroes moving into the enemy side of the field, and because she does jump on the enemies with a Rainstorm Ballet, I'm thinking maybe it could be a good synergy. And also he does well into like this kind of wilder team. Will we want... How about we try the confining spell here? And actually, I don't know. Maybe Haven up in this position. Because now we're not worried about Iron ultimate and bringing the Haven in. Haven is going to be safe off to the side because we get the guaranteed cancel at the beginning of the match. So let's try a team like this. Immediately interrupt the Iron and immediately jumps into a Rainstorm Ballet. But the problem is her initial Rainstorm Ballet without buffs is not going to be powerful enough. We need to try to pair up with some other forms of stat buffing. I think the Damien Haste is considered a non-permanent stat boost. So I think that should apply to her and give her a growth stack with her Mythic Plus. Okay, so my Haven did die, which is bad. We're in the defensive state. However, and Rainstorm Ballet dodges the Thorn's damage reflect ultimate. I don't see who we interrupted. Maybe the Carolina, maybe the Iron, but everyone's kind of low. Shakira's almost dead, but we're gonna just be able to clutch it out in the back, and she is dealing. She's dealing because when she's at her plus 10 exclusive equipment, Rainstorm Ballet will have 2 additional attacks when she gets a growth stack. So rather than 6 attacks, it should have 8 attacks, and that is going to be, yeah, she was topping the damage contribution chart right there. So overall, I do think she's really kind of strong. Now the question is, would she be the best option on defense? Like, would I want to run her on my defense, for example? The thing is, if she can interrupt Scarlet, we need to check against Diurnal. Worcester has a Diurnal team, because some people were saying when Diurnal casts his ultimate is unaffected, but if she can interrupt Diurnal's ultimate, that is really strong. She can interrupt Scarlita's ultimate. However, you need the timing needs to be on point, otherwise it doesn't happen, which is really the big problem. Let's take a look and try to find Jadion. He has standard Scarlita Scroll team, which we can test again, but I want to try to find Worcester. Okay, we did find him, because I think he's running Diurnal on his... No, he's not. He's running Lily May on his defense. Okay. Should we do a mirror match and see how the Lily May versus Lily May dynamic is going to work? I think we can do that. I'm gonna have, I think... Wait a second. I think I should go for Confining Spell, because if we're interrupting the enemy Iron, then we don't need to have the Enlightening Spell, right? Okay, we're gonna go for kind of a mirror match.
Here I am.
But I'm gonna have the Soul Pact onto the Lily May. Okay, let's see whether this can work pretty well or not. Okay. So, Lily May is gonna interrupt my Iron. My Lily May is gonna interrupt her Iron, his Iron. So it means that Lily May cannot interrupt the other Lily May. You're just going to interrupt whoever is going to cast their ultimate first. So now his Iron generates a lot of energy that he's able to cast another ultimate so quickly. My Lily May is about to put her defensive state. Now, oh, my Thorn gets a massive damage reflect. And the Brainstorm Ballet coming off. The Scarlita's descend. They both knock off enemies off the battlefield. Can my Lily May interrupt the Scarlita ultimate? No, she can't. I don't know. She wasn't in her defensive state yet. She was about to go into a defensive state. She had full energy. Definitely. Okay, so she is going... If you have an Iron and Lily May on both sides, you're going to counter the enemy's Iron. And the Lily May on the enemy side is going to counter your Iron. The Lily May is not going to, for example, be able to defend against the Lily May's interruption. I don't think that can happen. Okay. So overall, I do think she's pretty strong. The question is she better than, for example, like we saw in Wooster's defense right now? Is she better than Haywin? And I don't know if she's better than Haywin for a team like this, because Haywin for that protection damage reduction is pretty important. Potentially you could replace Iron. I feel like probably like replacing Iron and keeping Haywin would be maybe better. I want to try the same team into Wooster, and I want to see whether Haywin is a pretty safe option or not. And I'm going to have Haywin up to the side here. We know we're going to be interrupting the Iron. Now, yeah, and now we have no Iron on our team. We have to see what the Lily May does. Does she just immediately enter a defensive state and wait for someone to get to that full energy mark? Definitely though, I'm scared of the Lily May interrupting my Scarlita ultimate, because that can be brutal. Okay, so their Lily May is just remaining in the defensive state. The first one on our side to cast, which is probably going to be Thorin, is going to be interrupted, which is valuable because now we don't have that damage reflect kill threat that we had in the previous fight. He's going to loop up all the enemies together. Now his Thorn is casting the damage effect, which is going to be devastating. Dealing a lot of damage. My Haywin is alive. She gets her ultimate. And there's no interruption from the enemy Lily May. Now I'm in my defensive state. Could we possibly interrupt the enemy Scarlita ultimate? That would be so amazing if we can interrupt that. No, we for somehow don't interrupt the enemy Scarlita's ultimate. She knocks me off the battlefield. My Scarlita is locked down. I get my ultimate cast. We need a dash here. Lily May is in her defensive state, but it's a bit too late because the damage effect already went off from Thorin, his ultimate. And that was just a really messy fight overall. Yeah, that was not a good fight. Definitely, Iron is safer in that team than Haywin, if we go for Iron and Lily May together. So I do think maybe even Haywin's going to be replaced in this Stroll type team and keep Lily May there. The amount of utility that Lily May has is really high, and I think that will always warrant her a spot on even your defense options. Okay, let's take a look at the Dream Realm. Now, I don't think Lone Gaze is a great boss to try this into, because you really need protection in this team. I'm going to use my recommended formation, which is... oh, you can't just automatically put it in? Okay, then I'll take it from the leaderboard. Oh, and you can't... I'll just use Woosters because it's the same. Mine and Woosters are the same. So, Scarlita Odie is the best performing team here. We could try with Lily May. Keep the Odie here because I think getting rid of Odie would reduce your damage by too much. I think we could definitely try the Lily May in here. Up in a frontline position and have the Odie continue protected by the Thorn, because if Lily May is in the front, she's going to be kind of protected against the Lone Gaze boss. We need to see her damage output, and I think really Necrodraken is where I'm excited to try her because she has that mobility, which should counter the skills of the Necrodraken boss. Maybe even potentially other Dream Realm bosses. We're going to have to do some testing with that. I love the cutscene though. No other hero has that. And she then deals a massive... So she's not going to be able to interrupt the damage from... or the ultimate from the bosses of Dream Realm, but she deals bonus damage up to 600% attack multiplier on her ultimate. So far, our damage is looking pretty low. Like, just as like a reference, with the Scarlita team, I managed to get like 35 billion damage. We're on track to do that if everyone can survive and our damage output can remain as it is right now. But towards the end, Odie does get a little bit low. Although I feel like they've changed the Dream Realm bosses. They seem to be not dealing as much damage as before. I think with the new release in Asia version, they did try to reduce that. Yeah, so the damage contribution cannot compete with the Scarlita team at all. Partly also because of the seasonal skill of Scarlita. The damage output from Lily May was pretty high. However, OD just dealt a lot less damage in this team compared to my Scarlita team. So if we take a look at the Scarlita team like that Wooster was using, or we take a look at mine from today, OD did a lot and Scarlita did a lot. So, but maybe if you don't have Scarlita, you could try it, although maybe Corrin might be a better option. I don't know. We need to take a look at her seasonal skill. Shoots an extra projectile for every 3 normal attacks. Yeah, I don't like this seasonal skill. It doesn't provide utility to the team. It provides a bit of extra damage for her own kit, but an extra projectile of only 175% attack every 3 normal attacks is a little bit low. Like, I think this is a kind of weak seasonal skill. Maybe in future seasons she's going to be even more overpowered if she has a better seasonal skill than this. And to keep in mind, the Supreme Plus won't really make much of a difference for her showcase that we've done the testing for today, because losing 1000 energy, you're usually using her to counter Irons at the beginning of the match. And they have 0 energy, so whether they lose 700 or 1000, it doesn't make a difference. So it's only in subsequent casts that it would make a minor difference, although I don't think by that much. Okay, should we do one Supreme Arena fight? We have, I think there is Soraka up ahead. Wooster is also ahead. Oh, Wooster, Svoker, Wooster and Splash are both my guildmates. Johanna is also my guildmate. How did Johanna rank so high? Okay, I'm going to try to attack maybe Wooster because we're still in the top 5. We're not actually going to be demoting anyone. And Wooster is quite competitive as well. Svoker is pretty strong too. We could try to attack him. Let's take a look at Wooster. So he's running Lily May on his final team with his Walker. Walker is like his trademark hero that he's built up from the beginning. I'm thinking if we're going to use Lily May, definitely I want to use it in my team too, which is the crowd control team. Because in the Raging Duel of this week, you gain rage per control effect you inflict onto the enemy. And if you can counter that Iron at the beginning, that is really powerful. I'm thinking we go all out. Should we go all out for crowd control? Like, we could go for Lily May. And we could go for... He has a Scarlita, which is really scary. And also Shakira. Lily May can counter Shakira, but the problem is she needs to get her ultimate back up in time to cast it again before he ults. And I don't think we're going to get that. We're just going to try to fully lock down this enemy team and not let them and stack up our rage really quickly. Should we go for Granny? I think probably Granny would be the best option. Yeah, okay, we'll try this for our second team. That will be the Lily May showcase. The other teams, I guess we'll do whatever. This is what I'm running here. And over here it is our hidden assassin team. Although I feel like maybe this isn't the best option anymore, but it's pretty fun to watch at least. Okay, so we'll speed through the first match and then we'll focus on the second and third match because he has a Lily May on his third team as well. Okay, so my Vala already went down. Yeah, and he has Igor in the back tanking my Vala and Sylvina. So he has a good counter to this team and he has his own Vala, which is really heavily invested. Okay, this is the one we want to watch. Immediately interrupt the Iron. Lock down the team. Get that crowd control stacks. Already up to 3 stacks, which is crazy. Would have been better if we had Arden in the fully backline to get the lightning spell rather than Carolina. Shakir's in his wolf form. We were not able to get ultimate fast enough on Lily May to get another interruption. But we have our full stack of rage. We prevented the Iron ultimate, which is really major for stacking in this Raging Duel. And now Lily May is going to clean it up with Rainstorm Ballet. Okay, so very convincing win here. And now we have our final team. He has a Lily May of his own who is going to interrupt. Who is he going to interrupt? No one, because we haven't cast any ultimate yet. Now, she's going to interrupt my Thorn, which is really good for him, because then we don't have the damage reflect kill potential right now. But I kind of prefer that she will interrupt Thorn than Haywin, because I want Haywin to heal. Yeah, so she's going to interrupt Thorn, Haywin gets a heal and protect my team, which is more important and valuable to me. But look at his Lily May, almost back to 100 energy again. How did she gain energy so quickly? Back into her defensive state. If she can interrupt my Scarlita, that could give him the win. Or it could give him a potential to win here. She is in her defensive state. Don't interrupt my Scarlita. Come on, Thorin, cast first. Good. Thorin gets interrupted. You don't want your Scarlita getting interrupted. She loses so much effectiveness if she can't cast her ultimate and go into her combos. But Lily May almost back to 100% energy again. Which is crazy. My Scarlita just locked down and stunned in the front line. Lily May could even enter the defensive state before my Scarlita can move, because the entangling roots of Arden onto Scarlita, she's in the defensive state. She's gonna counter my Scarlita ultimate. I think she's gonna win here. Yeah, she counters Scarlita ultimate. I think maybe I'm done. There's too much sustain on the enemy team. No, we get the heals off, so Scarlita is still barely alive. But it's now going to be a stall fest. Like, can we get another ultimate off before Lily May? But as you can tell, Lily May is doing a lot of work. She has so much utility for her team. We get the lucky damage reflect, we kill her, and now that should be it for the match. But overall, definitely a very high utility hero. And even though she is pretty tanky, or pretty squishy for sure, she doesn't have good defenses. I don't think she's so squishy that she can easily be one-shot, especially because she goes for Brainstorm Ballet almost at the beginning of the match, which causes your enemies to retarget onto maybe a different hero. And I want to take a look at her overall stats and compare them to maybe some other heroes. I'm going to level her down to 870, and we're going to compare her with other heroes here. I want to compare her with Sylvina, who is kind of an assassin who's pretty squishy as well. Now, she's not at Supreme Plus yet. That will make a minor difference for her stats. But if we take a look here, she has defensive is what I want to look at. Is that the top? Yeah. So almost 50k physical and magical defense, 334 attack million, and 27 or 2.7 billion HP.
Both techniques.
If we take a look at Sylvina, she is going to have more HP. Attack is, I think, about the same, and more defenses. So this is the thing. Even Sylvina is tankier than Lily May, and in terms of the attack, even has higher attack than Lily May, but that might change with their Supreme Plus upgrade. Paragon doesn't make a big difference. That only gives 2.5% stats. So she is squishy, which is her major issue. And you saw in that final fight with Wooster, she got one shot, I think, just by my Thorn Damage Reflect ultimate, and then she's out of there. And if she can survive, she can be amazing. But if she can't survive and gets killed early, she doesn't do anything, right? And that is her biggest issue, in my opinion, which is that, can she survive long enough? So I definitely think if you're going to run her in a team, I like her with Thorn Soul Pacting her for protection, and other healers on the team, Damien even. And you want to give her non-permanent stat boosts, which I consider, I don't know exactly what it means, but I would think even Damien's haste buff, which he gives to her, is a non-permanent stat boost, or even attack buff from maybe Smokey or something like that. So that is the thing for a growth stack once she gets to a Mythic Plus. So overall, I do think she's a really great hero. Definitely going to be involved in a lot of the meta PvP teams, and that is why I think she is worthy of you to recruit for her. I think she is probably one of the best rate up recruitment heroes ever out there. And her only downside, or a major downfall, can be her squishiness, that she's a glass cannon, and her only form of protection is really her invincibility on her Rainstorm Ballet, which has a long cooldown of 20 seconds. But anyway guys, let me know what you thought about Lily May, and I'll definitely be doing more testing in the future, maybe even Dream Realm, if she is a best hero option somewhere. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and that's gonna be it for this one. If you want to join my AFK Journey Discord server, I have that, and the link to that will be in the description of this video, where we share arena tips, compositions, and we'll be talking about Lily May a lot as well. And people will just be sharing their sometimes replays, but really formations and stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Until the next one, everyone, peace out for now.